Is it more effective to use lighter or heavier weights to accelerate muscle development? This subject elicits a variety of perspectives. Some argue that exercises with higher repetitions and calisthenic body weight movements are optimal. Conversely, there are those who staunchly advocate for low repetition, heavy weight training as a superior method for rapid muscle gain. Hence, in today's discussion, we aim to determine which training approach yields the most beneficial outcomes for you, drawing on scientific evidence rather than mere personal views. To accurately determine this, we must first understand the concept of training intensity. In the realm of exercise science, training intensity is defined as the proportion of your maximum single repetition capacity that you can lift. For instance, lifting at 100% of your 1 rep max implies utilizing a weight so substantial that only a single repetition is possible. Conversely, lifting at 80% of your 1 rep max equates to a weight that allows for approximately 7 to 8 repetitions before reaching muscle failure. Each level of training intensity, be it 70, 80, or 90%, aligns with a specific repetition count as indicated by numerous strength training research studies. This data is conveniently summarized in the table presented here. As evident, training with a lighter weight or a lower percentage of your 1 rep max naturally results in a higher number of repetitions. On the other hand, using heavier weights or a higher percentage of your 1 rep max limits you to fewer repetitions. This concept is relatively straightforward. Now, let's explore why certain lifters advocate for lightweight training to maximize muscle growth, recommending sets of 15 to 25 repetitions. Firstly, proponents of high repetition workouts claim superiority due to the significant metabolic stress generated. This stress arises during resistance exercises as a cellular response to depleted energy, leading to the accumulation of metabolic byproducts such as lactate, inorganic phosphate, and hydrogen ions. Secondly, many find high repetition training seemingly more effective due to the pronounced muscular pump and visible enlargement observed in gym mirrors, suggesting an ideal training approach. However, this is not necessarily the case. There's no mystical aspect to lightweight, high repetition pump workouts. Although it's not a poor choice for muscle growth and is favored by many renowned bodybuilders, it's not a miraculous method. For instance, numerous studies indicate that low, moderate, and high repetitions can equally contribute to muscle development. Delving further into these findings, it's revealed that using only 30% of your 1 rep max in very high rep sets can be as effective for muscle growth as utilizing 80% of your 1 rep max in traditional bodybuilding rep ranges. However, before jumping to conclusions that any weight load or rep range is suitable for muscle building, consider the complexities beyond these controlled lab experiments. Specifically, there are 3 key aspects to bear in mind. Firstly, training with extremely low reps, like 1 or 2 per set, is generally not the best approach for muscle growth. This is evident in research that showed 8 sets of single rep max efforts resulted in poorer outcomes compared to 8 sets within the 8 to 12 rep range. Hence, it's crucial to choose a weight that enables you to perform at least 3 reps per set for optimal muscle growth. Secondly, exercising with heavy weights for a low number of reps can be significantly more taxing on your joints and connective tissues than working out with moderate or high rep ranges. Observations from studies also suggest that those who train with low reps tend to have a higher incidence of injuries. Therefore, extremely low rep training may not be suitable if you experience joint discomfort or are more prone to injuries. Moreover, for isolation exercises like bicep curls or lateral raises, training with very heavy weights and low reps is not advisable due to the challenge of maintaining proper form, increasing the likelihood of cheating and using momentum. In contrast, compound exercises such as squats, bench presses, and deadlifts can be performed with heavier weights and fewer reps, provided that proper form is maintained and a minimum of 3 reps is achieved. Shifting focus to the opposite end, high repetition training, we encounter our third complication when choosing an arbitrary rep range for muscle building. To match the muscle growth achieved with moderate rep sets using high rep sets, you must train until failure. Studies show that without reaching failure in those higher rep sets, the full potential of muscle growth isn't realized. Considering the average person's endurance, completing 5 sets to failure with a light weight, like 30% of your 1 rep max, is quite challenging. This makes it more effective to perform additional sets in the moderate to lower rep ranges. Imagine this. Using about 30% of your 1 rep max might mean doing 25 to 35 reps. Do you have the stamina for 5 sets of that? Additionally, can you maintain concentration for 25 to 35 reps without succumbing to poor form or giving up before reaching actual failure? For instance, even at 50% of your 1 rep max in a squat, you might find yourself exhausted after just one set. However, it's not advisable to completely shy away from high rep training or any particular rep range. High rep sets can be effectively used for isolation exercises like lateral raises or bicep curls, where fatigue isn't as significant. Research also indicates that muscle growth is enhanced when you incorporate a variety of rep ranges, rather than sticking to the same number of reps every set. This is because different rep ranges activate distinct muscle-building mechanisms in the body. High rep training predominantly stimulates the metabolic stress pathway, leading to low energy levels in the cell and accumulation of lactate, phosphate, and hydrogen ions, all beneficial for muscle growth. Additionally, high rep training is effective for training your slow twitch muscle fibers, which, although not as strong as fast twitch fibers, are more resistant to fatigue. Conversely, low rep heavyweight training generates significant mechanical tension, stimulating muscle growth differently. It activates muscle cell mechanosensors, triggering genetic and hormonal signals for building new muscle tissue. These mechanosensors respond specifically to high levels of tension, highlighting the importance of including low-rep heavyweight training in your routine. Generally, more than 3 reps are optimal for low-rep sets, aiding in injury prevention and expediting muscle growth. Besides providing greater mechanical tension, training with low repetitions and heavy weights is notably more effective in engaging fast-twitch muscle fibers, known for their high force generation but quick fatigue. Another key advantage of heavyweight training is its proficiency in building muscle and enhancing physical strength. Even if your goal is solely muscle size, gains in strength are beneficial for muscle development. Studies have demonstrated that increased muscle activation during exercise accompanies strength improvements. Gains from heavy weight training enhance muscle growth, even in moderate or higher rep sets, because the strength acquired from lower rep training enhances your performance in moderate and high rep sets, enabling you to handle heavier weights and thus promote more muscle growth. To encapsulate, integrating low, moderate, and high rep sets is optimal as each activates distinct muscle growth mechanisms. Practically, focusing primarily on moderate rep ranges is advisable. It strikes a balance, being less demanding than numerous high rep sets and gentler on your joints and tissues compared to lifting extremely heavy weights for fewer reps. Let me share how to effectively blend these rep ranges for maximal results. My preferred method is periodization. This approach involves alternating rep ranges, which can be done per workout, weekly, or monthly. I've observed more substantial outcomes from monthly switches, allowing ample time to adapt and strengthen within a specific rep range. A simple periodization strategy involves spending 3 to 4 weeks in one of 3 rep ranges, 3 to 5 reps, 6 to 8 reps, and 12 or more reps. Begin by lifting a weight heavy enough to reach failure within 3 to 5 reps for 3 to 4 weeks. Then, for the next phase, switch to the 6 to 8 rep range with a slightly lighter weight, still challenging enough to hit failure within 6 to 8 reps. After this period, shift to the 12 plus rep range. Continuously cycling through these ranges not only fosters strength, but also accelerates muscle growth. When revisiting a rep range after weeks or months, aim to increase the weight compared to your previous sessions in that range. If you prefer not to stick to a single rep range for an extended period, you can diversify your workout by including different rep ranges in each session, tailored to your objectives. For instance, if you're more focused on muscle gain than strength, you might allocate 15% of your sets to the 3 to 5 rep range, 70% to the 6 to 12 rep range, and the remaining 15% to the 13 plus rep range. This is just an example. Precise calculations aren't necessary. In practice, this means integrating 1 or 2 heavy sets and 1 or 2 light sets for every 7 sets of moderate reps. Remember, this setup is not a one-size-fits-all solution, but a method to engage all rep ranges for optimal muscle stimulation. Alternatively, if your goal includes strength gains along with muscle building, you could consider doing about 30% of your sets in the 3 to 5 rep range, 60% in the 6 to 12 rep range, and 10% in the 13 plus rep range. For older individuals, those prone to injury, recovering from injuries, or experiencing joint discomfort, a focus on higher rep work is advisable. Older adults in particular benefit from high rep sets due to reduced connective tissue strength and a slower protein turnover rate, which can increase the risk of injury with heavy training. For these groups, a distribution of 0% in the 3 to 5 rep range, 60% in the 6 to 12 rep range, and 40% in the 13 plus rep range is effective. So that's everything, guys. Personally, I still favor heavyweight training. but I include all rep ranges from low to high in my routines due to their distinct advantages. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Additionally, for a streamlined approach to fat loss and muscle building that includes a comprehensive workout plan, video exercise library, customizable diet plan, recipe book, and personal accountability coach, visit my website. Our program offers a unique incentive. Follow the plan and achieve your goals of losing weight, reducing body fat, or gaining muscle, and you'll get a full refund at the end of the program. This acts as a motivator to stick to the plan, which is crucial for transformation. To learn more about our distinctive methodology, click the link in the description below or visit gravitytransformation.com directly. I'll see you soon. Remember to subscribe. By doing so, you'll stay in the loop with our latest fitness tips and insights. So, join our community with just one click.